What's up, everybody? Dr. G here, wanting to provide some ministry motivation for you today. Today, what I want you to think about is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Paul says, therefore, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for you know your labor is not in vain. That right there should fire you up, because Paul says when we do work for the Lord, it is never in vain. And so he says, therefore, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Now, what's the therefore? Therefore, okay? What is he? Therefore, as we usually say at the end of, like we said, all this evidence, therefore do blank. Okay, what was all the evidence? If you go back and read 1 Corinthians 15, what he's saying is Jesus has risen from the dead. And because Jesus has risen from the dead, therefore we have confidence that he's going to come back. And if he's going to come back, then therefore that means we're not going to die and stay dead forever. If we die, we're going to rise again with him. So with that in mind, therefore be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Why? Because it's not in vain. Everything you do for the Lord is actually pointing towards something that matters eternally. So what I want you to do is let that just like sink in through your ears and your head into your heart, and just like fuel you this week to think about, you have a promise from God that your job always matters. It's never vain. It's never empty. Now, contrast that with any other job you could have in the world, okay? It's not that other jobs are bad, but I just want you to think about this. No matter how noble other professions are, they potentially could have moments that feel vain, like, was it worth it? I just don't know if it actually produced what I was hoping. Police officers, firefighters, school teachers, lawyers. I mean, you go down the list, doctors, people who are doing great things. I have nothing against those professions. I'm just saying, I imagine you could probably talk to some of them and they might tell you many times that they say, I just, in light of this, I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know if this was, I thought this, but you know what, for us in ministry, based off what Paul is saying here, and also based off what God says elsewhere, think about Isaiah 55:11, that says, when God says his word will not return to him void or empty, as some translations say. Instead, his word will accomplish what he wants it to. Okay, when you take a promise like that, as well as 1 Corinthians 15:58, you put them together, think about that. Even though, sure, some pastors might say, man, was this worth it, that worth it? Based off these scripture references, we know when we get to eternity, then we will all say, it was all worth it. It was all worth it, because we're going to see how it all fit together. Every time you shared the gospel, every time you prayed, every time you witnessed to someone, every time you went and served someone for Jesus, it all played a part in someone else growing closer to Christ every single time. So today, this week, be encouraged, be inspired, be motivated, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For you know your labor is not in vain. Hey, if this content was helpful for you, I want to ask you, make sure you like this video, you subscribe to the page, and you share it with your friends, because we want ministry leaders to stay inspired and motivated. Let's go.